We're going to ask now, though, if you're happy with a hosepipe ban. 02078 862 2222. That's the number. Give us a ring. A medium risk of drought has been declared after England experienced its driest start to the spring since the 50s. Farmers have warned they are struggling to grow crops after the sunniest April on record, and the Environment Agency has revealed that reservoir water levels are dropping. The government's National Drought Group has suggested that banning people from using hoses to water their gardens or wash their cars could be necessary to safeguard water supplies. Do you think we need a hosepipe ban to be brought into place? Would you comply with it, Lynn, if one was?
No, come and arrest me, come and sue me. I just think we live in one of the wettest countries. How is it that we get 2 days of sunshine and we're up in arms about using our hosepipe? Like, who turns on their hosepipe for hours anyway? If anything, it's for a little bit of a paddling pool, to water some plants. And I just think it's so sad, especially when, sorry to veer off the topic, but when mental health is an issue and we need vitamin D and we're all out enjoying some sunshine and our hose pipes occasionally, we don't get enough sunshine. And if that's the case regarding the reservoirs, then do something about it. We have neglected our reservoirs. We've neglected infrastructure around water. That is the issue, not blaming the average household for turning on their sprinkler or their water hose.
I visited a reservoir a couple of years ago, and the guy who was planning it said, you wouldn't believe how difficult it is to plan a reservoir. You need a lot of space. It's got to be in exactly the right place. Everybody's up in arms because it's in their backyard.
We can't seem to do anything.
You can't just summon up infrastructure like that.
We're so awful at infrastructure. You're saying that, but why is it we have this conversation nearly every year for decades? So you mean to tell me we're supposedly Great Britain, you know, industrial revolution history, and we can't figure out how to, you know, build train lines, reservoirs, housing? I'm sorry, Britain has become a pathetic country.
Would you comply with the hosepipe ban?
I would comply, but it's in no small part down to the fact I've got AstroTurf in my back garden, so there's not a lot to water in my back garden.
You don't have real grass.
Do you know what? I know. There's a story behind it that I won't bother boring everyone with now. But for me, it's just the fact that, touching on what you're saying there, so many infrastructure issues we have, and to me, I put it down to the past 14 years of neglect, because really what's not going to win you votes is having a good reservoir system. It's fine until it's not, and it's currently not, and we deviate slightly. The weather gets slightly hot, we have a problem. Weather gets slightly too cold, and the trains stop working, the buses stop working.
The leaves on the track, it's... Oh.
Totally. It's silly that we are in this situation, and I hate the fact, I'm so proud to be British, but yet when I travel abroad, and I'm lucky to do that quite a lot, I go, the trains are so much better in many other countries. Infrastructure is just better elsewhere.
Do you not think that we have been brought up with the illusion that water is free, that it's a free resource, it falls from the sky, and we shouldn't have to pay for it? Our water bills have traditionally been incredibly low, and actually, it turns out that water is a scarce resource. How do
hot countries deal with it? I'm from Barbados. It's hot every day. I have never seen on the headlines, in the newspapers, in the hairdressers gossiping, we have to turn off.
Do you drink the water from the tap in Barbados?
Yes, it's very clean.
Is it?
Yes.
So you have drinking quality
well,
water.
It's better than the quality here. My hair's softer. I feel better drinking the water there than I do here.
Okay.
And we are considered a developing country. We don't have oodles of money, and we do not hear that we have to turn off our pipe. So how
There's
here...
There's no lake district in Barbados, is what you're saying.
No, we're surrounded by salt water. We don't have lakes. I don't even think we have any lakes in Barbados.
Okay.
And yet we managed to make it work hot all year round. How are we struggling in Britain?
Let's take a call. Eileen's in West Sussex. Eileen, we're facing a drought. It's May. Would you comply with a hosepipe ban?
Well, no, not really, because being a very old woman, I'm afraid that walking, I have to walk with my walker, and I can't carry a watering can to water my plants. I haven't got many pots, but it has to be done. So what happens, you know, if there's a hosepipe ban?
I mean, Eileen, you could be taking water, valuable water, away from farmers that need it to grow their crops. That's what we're being told. That's how bad it could be.
Yes, but I think that when you're sort of have a few plants that you like to look out your window and see, I just feel that we do need some sort of what shall I say, priority for people that can't use their watering can.
Okay. Well, listen, Eileen, I'm going to give you a pass. It's not in my power to do so, but if I could, I'd give you a pass. Thank you for your call, Eileen. But don't go anywhere, you guys, because we're taking more of your calls on this after the break. Would you be happy with a hosepipe ban during dry weather? Would you support it if we're going to get one this year? Radzi and Lin are back with me, learning as we go. Let's get straight onto your calls. We always learn a lot from those on whether we need a hosepipe ban during this period of dry weather. Is it fair to tell people you can't use your hose at home? Get your calls in now. Anne is in West Yorkshire. Do you need a sprinkler in West Yorkshire, Anne?
Well, I know. I just use I use water twice as much as I can. I love a good deep bath. A bit of a luxury as far as I'm concerned. But then I don't pull the plug. What I do is save the water, and then the next day or until I run out, I use it to flush the toilets instead of pulling the lever, or I water my plants with it. If a heck of a lot of people did that, we would save so much water. We wouldn't need a hosepipe ban.
Is this what we need to be doing from now on? Is looking at water as a precious resource, not as what we've always looked at it, I think, a lot of people anyway, as this thing that we can just dispose of at will, when it's cost so much to get it to us?
Yeah, yes, that's right. But we do waste so much of it as well.
Okay, so bath...
And if you use water twice, that then that dramatically, not only that, it saves you on your water bill.
Okay, and a lot of people are still not metered for their water. Do you think that's part of the problem? A lot of people don't pay the same regardless of whether they use a lot or a little. Do you think that needs to change as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm metered. When you change houses, I think, as far as I know, you have to then be metered from that point onwards. I don't see a problem. It's just it allows you to keep an idea on what's going on. I do have to say that the price has gone up dramatically, though, over the last year.
I mean, that's the thing, guys. We are looking at water bills and decrying them and saying, how can this be when maybe this is what needs to happen? So we start looking at water differently.
Water companies have fundamentally failed. And the fact that we're the ones getting charged exorbitant sums...
For their failure.
Or exorbitant, rather, exactly, for their failure. And things like, actually, I mean, as Anne was speaking there, it made me think, so if I brush my teeth, I turn the tap off. That's something I've always done. But if I stay with mates or whatever, people keep the tap on when they're brushing their teeth. I think there are small things we could do which would have a big impact. Like Anne is
I'm not using my bath water like 2 and 3 times. I'm so sorry.
I just wonder, Anne, do you feel like, Anne, that you're kind of playing the water company's game a little bit? Because of their failure, you're having to use your bath water twice.
Well, it's not having to. I mean, primarily, I did it initially to save myself money on the bill.
Yeah, I know a lot of people doing the same these days. They are. It's the bill that you do have to pay attention to, which never used to be. Thanks for your call. Let's take another one. James is in Liverpool. James, what do you think? Hosepipe ban's fair. Would you comply with one if it was in your area?
Hi, Matt. I mean, we've had one in the past. And people are sort of restricted to what they can use, and we've stuck to it, just to help out. But my question is within a 2-mile radius of my house, if everybody residentially, if they've got their hosepipe ban, then within the 2-mile radius, we've got 5 car washes within that 2-mile radius of my house. Now, they're always quite busy. Now, how would they be situated with the hosepipe ban? Because, as I say, I spoke to your colleague on the phone earlier, and they said, I explained to wash one car alone in a car wash, you use between 130 and 200 litres. Now, surely they would have to give these companies a warning and say, listen, there's going to be a hosepipe ban. We're going to close you down for a week. Tell your staff to go on a week's holiday, because there is going to be a hosepipe ban.
Well,
I know that if they're still going to be open, I will be questioning the local council and saying, listen, why should there be a hose pipe ban for everyone else when they're making their money?
Yeah, but they're a business. There are jobs attached to that as well, James. It's the same as the farmers, I'm sure, are protected. They won't be. They'll be able to irrigate their crops properly and make sure they're watered. But I would imagine businesses are the same, aren't they? They are metered, so they're paying for it. You've got to prioritise.
I don't know, but the closest one to my house, it was only 2 weeks ago. They had the police there. And I think it was immigration checks and whatever, which is fine because I believe if they're doing it, then, you know, the government are doing the job.
Would that change the way you look at a domestic ban? If you were forced to stop using your hosepipe, but you saw them down there spraying cars willy-nilly, would it make you think about not joining in, not being so public-spirited?
It'd make me think about it, but I mean, this company that is closest to my house, apparently they were fiddling the electricity as well. They had to have the electric there to check there because they were fiddling the electric, you know. So I don't know how true that is. But again, you know, I mean, my water, I've had to dispute my water company the last year because our water has been coming out discoloured, a yellowy brown colour. I've disputed it, and they actually sent somebody out and checked the pipes, and they said, "Oh, you've got lead in your pipes. You've got lead pipes."
Okay.
I said, well, we haven't drank this water. We've had to buy bottled water for 16 months now.
I wonder if that's the undercurrent that we're hearing here, guys, is that a lot of people are saying, actually, the water companies have let us down. So you're gonna ban me when actually you failed comprehensively.
And it feels as though life right now is rubbish. So the idea of saying, as Anne mentioned, watering plants outside, if that's the small joy you've got, especially if you are disabled, you sort of think, you know what, I'm going to look after number one for a change. Yeah. And I don't blame anyone that does that. And you said yourself, Lynn, you would kind of ignore it because we're at a point where unless something's law and properly legally punishable, well, I don't know how many of us will.
It always falls on like the common man.